Today we're showing you 3 clever uses for leak detectors, including one that solves a problem that has vexed me since the day I bought my home. You're going to tell everyone about this one. Let's get into it. Hey, this is Pete, the new DIY smart home guy, solving more problems you didn't know you had, this time using leak detectors. Now, leak detectors are obviously designed to detect leaks. Now, I have one under my water heater, under my washing machine, and under my dishwasher. If I was really smart, I would put one near every sink and toilet too, but I like to live dangerously. Each leak detector is automated to send an alert to my phone when it detects water, and it will also automatically shut off the main water valve using this Z-Wave Zeus Titan water valve shutoff. Now, this thing is well worth the money, and even when you add in some leak detectors for under 200 bucks, you can save potentially thousands of dollars in water damage. Now, while that's all fine and good, I've never actually had a leak, so these leak detectors never get used, and what is the fun in that? But these 3 ideas I'm showing you right now, they get used all the time. So here are my top 3 clever uses for leak detectors. Number 3, dog bowl alert. Let's face it, dogs are very dumb. Sure, they're happy to alert you every time the UPS man is at your neighbor's house, but if their water dish goes empty, they'll just lay around for hours saying nothing just to make you feel like a jerk for not noticing. Well, the jig is up, dog. Now that I've got a leak detector in there, I get notifications when the bowl goes empty. Haha! And the setup is super easy. I'm using this EcoLeak flood-free sensor for all 3 of these ideas today, and no, they're not paying me to use it, but it wouldn't hurt you to buy one or 100 in our affiliate link down below. No, the reason I'm using it is that it is the best water sensor I've found with a probe, which is what you'll want for all of these ideas. Now, we keep our dog dish in this elevated thing for some reason, but it actually works out pretty well for this automation because I was able to mount the base of our leak detector under here, then just loop the probe over the edge and drop it in the water. I attached a magnet to the outside of the bowl so it stays hidden, then another magnet on the probe to keep it nice and tight and in place. Now you just need to build an automation that sends a voice notification to your smart speaker to let you know the bowl is empty. We'll show you details on doing that at the end of the video. Number 2, dehumidifier alert. Dehumidifiers are essential but super annoying because they need to be emptied constantly. Now, we keep ours in the basement, which is a great place for it, but since I never go down there, I never remember to empty the thing until I open the basement door and it smells like a gym bag that's been sitting in a hot car for 2 weeks. Point is, you want to empty these things ASAP. Now, I could buy a $300 smart dehumidifier that notifies an app on my smartphone when it is full, but I'd much rather keep the cheap $60 one that I have that works just fine, and I can make it smart myself with a $25 leak detector. To make this work, I mounted the base unit of the leak detector on top of the tank. Then I took another magnet to mount the probe inside the tank so the metal leads sit just below the water line when the tank is full, which will trigger an alert. Then all you have to do is automate some alerts, such as changing the color of the LEDs upstairs or whatever it takes to motivate you to get up and empty the tank. Or preferably, whatever motivates you to motivate someone else to get up and empty the tank. Nathan, empty the dehumidifier.
No.
I'll give you a nickel.
Nice try, Dad.
I'll give you a nickelback CD.
What's a CD?
Number 1, water softener alert. This is one of my all-time favorite automations because it solves a problem I have had for years, and it is so simple. If you have a water softener, every once in a while you have to drag your butt to Home Depot, buy a bunch of salt, then lug those 40-pound bags of salt into your basement and dump them in the water softener tank. And do you know what that salt does? Of course not, nobody does. It's one of life's great mysteries. All we know is that when this tank runs out of salt, your water isn't soft, and that is bad for reasons. Again, I don't know, but my wife seems to notice. The point is, I never remember to do things like this. Heck, I can't remember to add detergent when I'm washing my own clothes. There is zero chance I'm remembering to add salt to a tank in the basement that I don't even care about. Until now. Thanks to this leak detector, I now get an alert when the salt gets low. And again, this automation is stupidly easy to set up. All you gotta do is set this leak detector probe on top of the salt, and that's it. Really, that's it. As the salt gets used up, the probe is going to go down, and once the probe reaches the brine, it triggers the leak detector, and I get a message on my phone to add more salt. And I keep getting that message over and over and over again until I actually do it. It is brilliant. If that is not worth liking this video, I don't know what is. So those are my top 3 clever uses for leak detectors. As long as you've made it this far, you might as well learn how to build the automations, right? Okay, so I built these automations in my Hubitat Elevation, but most of them are pretty basic in that you could probably replicate these in any number of home automation platforms. The dog dish rule was built using the Hubitat Notifications app. Basically what we're saying here is that when the dog dish is dry for 2 minutes, it is going to send a notification spoken on the Sonos speaker to let us know that we need to fill that bowl up. And this notification is going to repeat every 22 minutes until the next event, which would be when the sensor senses that the dish is full. And for this rule, because we are doing an audio notification, we don't want this blasting out throughout the whole house in the middle of the night. We restricted this to only occur when it is day or evening mode on the hub. Then for our dehumidifier alert, we use the basic rules app again in Hubitat. And all we're saying here is that when the leak detector, which is our dehumidifier alert, detects that there's water, it's going to set the color on the bookshelves upstairs to blue at 100%, and then once the leak detector is dry again, meaning we've emptied the tank, it's going to turn off all of those bookshelves. Pretty easy peasy rule right there. For our water softener rule, we had to go with rule machine because we wanted to make a conditional rule here. So our trigger is when the water softener alert is wet, and this often happens in the middle of the night, right? When the water softener is doing its cycle. So we don't need to be getting notifications at 2 in the morning. So what it's going to do is, if the mode is in day or evening, it's going to send out a notification to my phone, and it'll do that every single day at the same time, every 24 hours until we add the salt. But if this is triggered in evening mode in the middle of the night, it's going to wait until 9:15 in the morning, and then it's going to send out that notification, and then it will repeat every 24 hours until, again, I have changed the salt. And that's it. That's it for today. Don't forget to subscribe, and then check out these awesome videos that the YouTube algorithm thinks you might like. It's never wrong.